Let's unravel the enigma of creativity, a force as mysterious as it is transformative. Maya Angelou once likened it to an unstoppable energy coursing across a landscape, unseen until it is upon you. She spoke of how this invisible force propelled her to race toward her pen and paper, desperate to capture it before it passed. Sometimes she made it in time, channeling the torrent into poetry. Other times, it slipped away, leaving her with the ache of knowing that particular spark might never return. This idea that creativity is something external and fleeting isn't new. The ancient Greeks saw it as the work of demons, otherworldly spirits bestowing their gifts. The Romans, meanwhile, spoke of a genius, a divine presence, not within the individual, but around them. In Samuel Taylor Coleridge's Kubla Khan, creativity is embodied in the mythical city of Xanadu, a metaphorical realm where the mind's raw potential is unleashed. Coleridge captures the essence of inspiration as something that feels both deeply personal and yet utterly beyond one's control. The creative process often feels like this duality, a collision between the mundane and the extraordinary. Our minds operate in predictable, often mechanical rhythms, yet within them lies the capacity to ignite profound beauty, innovation, and insight. But what triggers this shift? What transforms ordinary thought into extraordinary creation? Artists, musicians, and writers seem to bridge the gap between their inner worlds and external reality, bringing forth something entirely new. Yet, inspiration is the fuel that drives this process. It is the spark that compels them to labor over their craft, refining each detail until the message is clear and undeniably. This raises a question. Is creativity purely spontaneous, or can it be cultivated? Some argue it's an innate, untamed force that can't be structured or taught. Others suggest it stems from accumulated knowledge and life experience, stored and shaped in the depths of memory. Both perspectives hold merit. Children, with their limited knowledge but boundless imagination, are some of the most creative beings. Their lack of inhibition allows them to explore without fear, demonstrating that creativity thrives in freedom as much as in preparation. To delve deeper, researchers have turned to neuroscience. A fascinating study explored how creative individuals' brains might differ from the average person's. Participants were tasked with thinking of unique uses for mundane objects like socks or gum wrappers, all while their brain activity was scanned. By mapping connections across approximately 35,000 pathways, scientists identified what they called the high creative network. This network bridges three key systems in the brain: the default mode, the executive control, and the salience networks. The default mode is where spontaneous, daydream-like thoughts emerge. The executive control network focuses and evaluates ideas, deciding their merit. The salience network, acting as a kind of gatekeeper, shifts between the two, determining which mode the brain should prioritize. In most people, these networks don't operate simultaneously. However, in highly creative individuals, they seem to harmonize, allowing for seamless transitions between free-flowing imagination and critical analysis. This neurological dance may explain their ability to birth new ideas. Yet, these connections, while significant, are only part of the story. Natural ability alone isn't enough to sustain creativity. Discipline, practice, and an environment that encourages exploration are essential. The greatest artists and innovators didn't just rely on fleeting inspiration. They cultivated habits that allowed them to channel their creativity consistently. This is why fostering curiosity and experimentation, especially in children, is so vital. It's also why adults must grant themselves the freedom to play, to experiment, and to fail without fear. Letting go of the fear of imperfection is key. Creativity flourishes when unshackled from self-doubt. Whether through art, music, writing, or problem-solving, The act of creating is an invitation to embrace vulnerability. In doing so, you might just find yourself visited by your own demon or genius, opening the door to something extraordinary.